Most people believe that if they can just become more aware, their life will change. If they can understand their triggers, if they could notice their patterns, or maybe if they do the work often enough, then eventually alignment will arrive. But that hasn't been your experience, has it? Because awareness on its own, it doesn't change the baseline frequency of your life. It simply makes you conscious. Conscious while the patterns still continue to run in the background. And today I want to explain why and what actually does allow for true alignment. There are two ancient principles that have survived every spiritual era, and for good reason. One, know thyself. And two, as within, so without. These were never motivational phrases. They are instructions. Because consciousness, it doesn't create reality occasionally. Consciousness creates reality by default. It's being created all the time. Your identity, your emotional responses, your behaviour in those in-between moments of each and every day. That is the baseline frequency. And that is what shapes the majority of your reality and the outcomes that you get to experience, not the moments where you are consciously working on yourself. It's not those moments spent in meditation or while you're sat writing out your affirmations. And this is why so many capable, intelligent, self-aware women and men feel frustrated. They're not asleep. They're not unconscious. They're aware. But yet there are still certain patterns that continue to persist in their lives. For those of you who are new here, my name is Laura Morris, the Chakra Coach, and I work with the body's original energetic blueprint, the chakra system. I don't use it as a healing modality as such, but as a map so that we can read our identity, our behaviours, and the patterns that result in the reality that we experience. My work is about energetic literacy, because what I found is once you are able to see how your internal architecture is structured, then you stop trying to override yourself all of the time, and you can start leading your life from clarity and true inner sovereignty. Here is the distinction that most people never hear. awareness is not the same as self-knowledge. Awareness is noticing what you feel. But self-knowledge, emotional intelligence, if you like, is understanding why that pattern exists and how it operates. You see, unless you can read your internal patterns, you're always going to keep trying to override them with insight. And quite simply put, that is exhausting. And the results that we get, well, they're not long term. There was a point in my own work when this became very, very clear. I was deeply aware. I had become very energetically literate. I was experienced. But yet, I noticed certain patterns that were still showing up, not dramatically, not in a painful way, but the patterns were showing up consistently, especially in those in-between moments. The automatic responses, subtle decisions that I was making, the emotional defaults behind my subconscious beliefs. And it was then I realized something. Awareness wasn't the limitation. The limitation was I couldn't yet read the structure that the patterns were coming from. I wasn't able to piece all of that together. And that was the moment that everything shifted for me. It wasn't because I needed more healing. It wasn't because I needed to fix myself. But because I needed a way to see and feel what was actually running the programming of all of those in-between moments, making up the majority of my day. This is where the chakra system can often be misunderstood. You see, for me, it's not a healing trend. The chakra system isn't a spiritual personality test. What the chakra system is a map of consciousness. How subtle life force is expressed through our bodies. Each one of the 7 major chakras holds emotional roots. They have subconscious belief structures, identity patterns that shape behaviour and results. Now, when you can begin to understand this system structurally, something profound begins to happen. You stop asking, why do I keep feeling this way? And you then start seeing, oh, this is the pattern that's been running all along. That's not healing. That's energetic literacy. Being able to read the patterns between mind, body, and spirit. Most personal development courses, they focus on the moments of insight, the moments of release, moments of intention. But life isn't just built in moments. It's built in the defaults. It's built in in-between moments. And unless the work that you're doing is having a positive impact on the baseline frequency of your consciousness, your results will keep repeating. They'll keep reverting to the default settings. This is why people say things like, I know better, but I still keep doing that same thing. You see, they're not failing. They're unread. You are not broken. You're not even unaligned. You're not lacking discipline. You, like the rest of us, simply haven't been taught how to read our energetic patterns. Once you can read them, alignment stops being something that feels like you're having to chase it. Alignment starts becoming something that happens naturally because alignment is our natural state. This is exactly why I created the Chakra Blueprint. It's not a course for you to consume. It isn't something to fix you. I created it as a framework that teaches you how to decode your emotional patterns. I taught it to guide people so that they could understand the subconscious beliefs that are shaping their identity. I created it so people can read the energetic architecture behind their self-image, their behaviour, and their results in life. So that alignment becomes inevitable, not effortful. The work, it doesn't change you overnight. But what it does do is change you permanently. Because you can then finally see and read the patterns, controlling every aspect of you, your behaviour, and your life. So if you are someone who has already done the work, if, like me, you find yourself aware, capable, and now ready for clarity over effort, then the Chakra Blueprint is exactly where this journey will begin for you. Not because you need more information, but because it's time for you to stop guessing. Start knowing and creating on purpose. You can find the link for the Chakra Blueprint in the description below. And if this resonated with you, sit with it. You don't need to rush. Self-knowledge changes everything. Once you learn how to read yourself. Because as within, so without.